All right, welcome back, everybody. So, today's topic video is top down analysis, how to mark your levels so that you can be prepared to trade next week, right? Every week, I usually on Sunday, I will start charting my week. Charting, planning out, marking levels, because you got to plan out your trades, right? You can't be trading blind. So, I'm going to teach you how I do it, and then later on soon enough you will learn how to do yourself and make it a routine for yourself, because once you still routine, you build consistency, you build habit. That's what we want. Okay, so I'm on NQ right now chart. I don't want to do MQ because I already chart that out. I don't want to mess that chart up. So we starting fresh. There's NQ. Okay, nothing's on. I start with the weekly chart. See the weekly chart. Okay, market's still open right now. Today is Wednesday, so we're gonna chart the weekly. Okay, so I'm not gonna chart this week. So Wednesday, Tuesday. Let's see, Wednesday, September 1st, August 25th. So this is the week right here. This is last week. Okay, August 25th. Look at my calendar to make sure that's August 25th. Yep, August 25th is last week. Boom. Okay, cool. So zoom in when you want to. This candle right here is the weekly candle. That is last week. We're gonna mark that low and high of that week, right? If you need to zoom in more just so you get your line precise, then do that. Top and bottom. And then you want to label it. I usually have a template ready. That's a week low, week high. All right, we determine week low and week high. Now we want to go down to the daily chart. The daily chart. Here we go, daily chart. Obviously, market is kind of ranging here, just from the daily chart, right? So you kind of see, okay, we're kind of in a range. It's cool. Keep those things in mind. And if you also see some interesting level here, present some good support. We could draw that down later on if you want and label it as a possible support. So here in the daily chart, I want to mark. Normally on the daily chart, I want to mark the Friday's low and the Friday's high. So it's previous day low, previous day high. Okay, so if this is the weekly low here, August 25th, but this is low. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Friday's low is right there. I wouldn't. Let's ignore these candles because, like I said, we didn't see this candle. This is the previous week, right? So I would mark that candle here. This is Wednesday. This is Friday. You can either do previous day low or just say Friday's low, FDL, Friday's low. And then you want to get Friday's high. Also, Friday's high is here. Just put Friday's high. And there you go. Those are your daily chart. Just looking at, and then from daily you can see if it's interesting level. There's a lot of wick here. There's possibly support. You can mark that. You can mark that. You don't have to be specific. Like right here, all three touches seems like a strong support, right? Mark that lever. Put can make this as a high if you wanted to. Um, but since we're going, looks like the market's trend ranging, I think this is a good level to have. So when you have levels like this, you can kind of see in the daily, like, okay, I see markets trying to reach Friday's high, possible resistance here, so there's possible short play, right? Or hey, broke Friday's high, maybe we can wait for a retest and we can go long, and it could, because it's broke Friday's high and weekly high, looking kind of bullish, and then we can aim for what, the high of highs, right? So that's why levels are important. And you can see your next move. Let's say it's starting to break here weekly's low right here. That's pretty bearish, right? So if I now do from the daily, I want to zoom down to the hourly chart. Here's the hourly chart. What do you want to do in the hourly chart? I want to start charting simple gaps. Now I want to see start feeding gaps, fair value gap. This is the hourly 1 hour fair value gap. Boom. I got that. It means what I want to see. This is a bearish gap, right? So if price comes back into its fair gap, whether it fills it up and reject or partially reject, we know that this zone here is a possible short zone, right? And the only way this could be a possible long zone if it breaks this area. Let's say price action, for example, right? Let's say example, price action did this, came into this level, broke it, and then came back with some kind of retest, and then it ripped. Then we want to go long and retest the Friday's high, right? But most scenario, when there's a bearish gap, price tends to come back towards it, fills, and then reject. We want to see reject, and then we want to short. And when we want to short, we want to come back down to at least the Friday's low or the weekly low, and we just, yeah, that'll be our potential target. So you have one gap down. Now we'll look for other gaps, right? 1 hour gap. Let's see if any other gap. This right here looks like a possible gap, but this is, now we're talking today's. Right now in an hour, this is today's. This is not yesterday. This is not the previous week. Okay. This is currently what's happening right now. That's why we're seeing these gaps. No gap there. Here's a gap right here, 1 hour. Another 1 hour gap. There's a possible gap right here too. Okay, now you got the fair value gap down. This is 1 hourly. Now let's go to one more step down, 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute. You're looking for the same thing on 15-minute. Maybe there's some gap here that we missed. And right here, there's a slight gap in 15 minutes, but I think it's small. It's very small. This is from yesterday. I think we traded this yesterday. I shorted to the 15-minute gap. Yes, it was big yesterday, but I feel a lot of it. So this was yesterday. Asian hour. I said it was a 15-minute gap. I said let's short to it, and we did short to it, and we got it, and it barely filled. So meaning there's still a little bit left right there, 15-minute fair value gap. Whether that's stay as a strong support, we won't know until that happened. Market might want to fill that and then continue to rip up. Right now we are heading almost power hour already, so market's doing crazy stuff. Okay, so now that you got that to 15 minutes, and that's it. That's pretty much your level. This is your level right here. coming towards the new week, right? So since this is current, which is Wednesday right now, September 3rd, right? These are level. And when the day is ending, you want to start to mark new levels for today. So let's say today's high. Let's see today's high. Where's today's high? Today's high is here then. Yep. Right. Today's high. So you will label that Wednesday high. That's the level for today. And then you want to mark Wednesday's low. Yeah, Wednesday's low should be here. We don't, no, it could be lower depending on how it ends today. But this is Wednesday low. Okay, so sometimes when you have too much going on, you start cleaning things up. What I mean by that is like, okay, I see the Friday's low and week low, they're pretty close to each other. So I trust the weekly low more than the Friday low now, just because high time frame is always stronger. So I just take out Friday's low. Okay, so now we have the weekly low level, the Wednesday low level, current, the Wednesday high level, current. These are all current levels. We see 15-minute gap here, we got the 1 hour period gap there. And then there's also one more gap that I see. Right here is the 15-minute gap. Now all this right here, 15 minutes, that could fill out the Asian market hours. When that happens, you come back, you just remove it. You know, when with gaps to fill, take it out, take it off your screen. There's no need to have them to just clutter everything, right? You want to have a clean, simple chart. I try to have clean, simple charts. All thing I want to see is just levels and fair value gaps. So, because I want to know what I'm trading at, direction I'm headed, where's the resistance at, where's the support at. You need to know those things so that you can plan out your trade. If you're long, where's your target? Well, I guess my target will be here around the fair value gap. If you're short, where's your target? Well, if I'm short, my target is probably around here, the 15-minute or 1 hour fair value gap, right? And if I short and where they want to short, like, okay, Wednesday lows right here. Let's say tomorrow opens up. Markets, let's say, open near weekly low. Okay, we don't know what direction I want to go. It could go higher, it could go lower. Let's say now it's like trending below weekly low. Okay, cool. It's below weekly low. That means let's drop down here. There's not a lot of room from weekly low to weekly low where you want to short. There's not a lot of risk to reward there. So you want to wait for that confirmation of just breaking weekly low, Wednesday low, right? And then probably see a retest, maybe the orb strategy, and then you want to short it to fair value gap or even another fair value gap down here. Those are nice risk to reward. You know what I'm saying? Because from here to here, and you stop, let's say it's there, it's only 1.7. That's not great. But if you short some of them here, get confirmation, you stop up here. Let's say you should get to this next one, right? To field here, break it all the way down here. That's a risk to 1 or 3 at least, right? Or even if it gets to around here, but if you go there, you stop has to be less than that. Okay, maybe a tighter stop. You get at least a 1.3. What I'm saying is you gotta understand the measure move. Okay, because shorting from here to Winslow, that's not great. But from here to round fair value gap, possibly under more, right? Because there's possibly even go further down because we see there's gaps down here. There's a good target down here. You got a higher probability, even if you set your stop over here and take a higher risk for that 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, right? And if you're long, it's like from weekly high, weekly low to 15-minute gap. That's also good risk to reward. say market wants to go long tomorrow, right? Let's see, it's 102. If it was tighter, you get to 103. But even from there, that's a good run, right? That's what you're aiming for. You can also try like trend lines, high time frame, if you wanted to. Let's say you're back in the hourly chart, okay? From hourly chart, you saw a trend. Boom. See the trend. Once you see a possible trend break, you can go long. You would have made some money. You saw the trend about to break. Yes, it went down towards the trend, but it did held. Let's say you want to further up the trend line more, get better execution, you could, regardless. But trend lines, it's all up to somebody's interpretation because where you want to draw it, how close you want to draw, right? It doesn't matter. But in the 1 hour chart, it's clear what we kind of getting a trend break here. So possible long would have been good. And if you went to a shorter time frame, let's say you go to a shorter time frame of 1 minute, 3 minute, this trend line here you can draw, right? Where do you want to go long here? Well, since market let you close, that's hard to go long. But a long here in a short time frame would be within here. If it breaks this trend line, you can probably target here 50-minute fair gap. You can probably draw this trend line tomorrow. So who knows? But Asian market is going to determine a lot of things. It could continue to go further lower, fill all this gap, and tomorrow we might run back up again. Who knows? But having your level will help you determine what direction you want to go. So I hope that helps you. I hope it helps you identify levels, draw levels, and make that a daily routine for yourself. Because without the levels, you're trading blind. I keep telling every team member, it's like, and sometimes they ask me, okay, well, you're long here. Where's your target? Oh, well, they don't know the target because they don't have the levels. And I tell them, mark your level. If you have the level, you know what to aim for. If you have the level, you know where the stop is at, right? So use tools. Use these tools. Use measure move tools. These are cool tools. They'll tell you your risk to reward and everything. I always use them. I have a gauge of where I want to take profit or where my stop loss is at. The Fibonacci tool also. One more thing. That's another level you can draw. Like let's say you see this market running up. We're here. This is the hourly chart, right? And this is the high. Well, your golden zone is way around here, and you can just draw the golden zone here, overlapping the 1 hour fair gap. So you're saying, okay, market, if it continues to fall back down tomorrow, I like a long within this area here, right? Because that looks like the 50% to 618 golden zone bounce. Got it? And fair gaps, golden zones are usually drawn intraday with trend. But you can also draw it on a high time frame when the days are over too. Like you can draw this low down here and make a golden zone if you wanted to. Like let's say here, market's retracing, right? Here to here, high and low. Here's the golden zone area. Okay, let's say I want to see market come back to it and then short, right? This would say this is the golden zone. Hypothetical. None of this happening yet. Say, okay, price come back. I want to short within the golden zone. Well, there was a possibility here of a short coming, but it was short-lived, and then bounced back. Now it broke the golden zone. When it happens, normally you want to go long, right? So it kind of came back. It did a week-long candle, and now that's it. Remember, this is hourly candle. that's a big move, right? Even here, down here, it's short. That's still a big move, but you get the jizz, right? You get what I'm saying. Once the golden zone has been preached, you can take it off. Like it's done. There's no need to have it on. I never keep things on when it's already preached. Cool. Well, that's it. Right now, let's say, look, market's pushing up to weekly low, what I said. But if you can see a whole week low, it's possible long. I think yeah, I'm gonna keep this short. That's it, guys. So that's how you draw zones and chart it out. Hopefully that helps you. Peace.